What's crackalacking? It's your boy Baroshmo, just in case you did not know so. And we're back again, once again, for another mock draft. This one being 2 rounds. I'm hoping to get a 7-round mock draft out for you guys next week or the week after, as I kind of complete my rankings and my big board. And you'll be able to tell I did this one live on stream the other night. And it's kind of scuffed because I haven't completed. I'm still going through those rankings, and I'm still going through for my big board, so it feels a bit scuffed. Like the first round, I feel really confident on it. In that second round, man, I look back and I'm like, ooh, man, I don't know about this, but it should be fun. So go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and go ahead and leave a comment on the video. It helps the video out a ton, and it's always much appreciated, much obliged. And the best way to support this channel is to become a bro or a bro tier scout. So go ahead, become a member today. It'll come with various perks, including Discord, as well as full rankings videos, which you'll be able to see starting this week. There will be, I'll be pushing out my ranking videos. But before we get into the actual mock draft, let's go ahead, pay the bills. We got a sponsor today. It's Thrive Fantasy Sports. So come prop up.
Experience a new way to play daily fantasy sports and esports on Thrive Fantasy. Thrive's game concept revolves around player props, which are simple over-unders on player stats. There are contests for traditional sports including the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, and cricket, as well as esports titles including CSGO, Dota 2, League of Legends, and more coming soon. Here's how to play. Choose your lineup of over-unders for top-tier athletes that have the biggest impact on the game. Each prop has a fantasy point total based on how likely it is to hit. The more points the selection is worth, the riskier it is. Rack up the most points and win a share of the prize pool. Thrive is awarded over $2 million in cash, so come and prop up today.
But you could use my code, or the link in the description, BROSHMO, when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant matchup up to $50 on your first deposit. Download the fantasy app, Thrive Fantasy Sports, or you can check it out in the Play Store. You could go to it online, follow the link in the description, and always remember, use code BROSHMO. Let's get into this sucker. We're going to try to speed through 2 rounds. I don't want y'all here too long. This is supposed to be the condensed version, but Trevor Lawrence, duh. Jaguars, they're going with that. For the Jets, I opted, because this is me making the picks, this is my personal opinion. I say, let's get a quarterback on a rookie deal rather than if Darnold, hey, he plays well, I don't want to pay him that 5th-year option. I don't want to give him an extension. I'd rather keep all that cap on this rookie deal and build around them. So I went with Zach Wilson. Dude's got special arm talent. Miami Dolphins, I'd rather they trade out this pick, but we didn't do trades in this, so I went with the best player on my board being Jamar Chase. They need playmakers. Then the Atlanta Falcons, yes, they're going to stick with Matt Ryan in 2021, but I say, hey, you're picking here in the top 5. I don't see Atlanta be doing that many times in the next few years, so I say get your franchise quarterback. We go Justin Fields. We're set for a decade, hopefully, at quarterback. The Bengals is no-brainer. We're going Penei Sewell because, I mean, come on, man. Get your boy protection. Get your boy Joe Burrow some protection. All right, hold on. I got to pull up the rest of my picks. There we go. Bam. Good to go. The Eagles, we're going with more receiving help. Devontae Smith, he is one of the higher guys on my board, so they get a nice physical guy at the catch point, which they failed to get with our boy JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And then the Detroit Lions, they gathered all these picks in 2022, in 2023. So if they want a quarterback in those drafts, they could trade and get that first overall pick. We're not going to have to settle for the 4th quarterback on the board here. So we're just going to add talent to the receiving core because our top 3 guys are all free agents. We're going Jalen Waddle. The Carolina Panthers, well, they don't have the type of draft capital that the Lions have. We're going to go ahead and get our quarterback of the future since we have a nice bridge quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. We're going Trey Lance. The Denver Broncos, Mac Jones, interesting, maybe. Nah, we're going to go with corner AJ Boye. He's gone. Bryce Callahan, he's honestly at his best in the slot. So we had a couple of rookies out there on the outside this year, but let's go ahead and just add better talent, because those guys were, one was I think late round and the other was a third round. So we're gonna go and get Caleb Farley. I got him over Patrick Surtain because athletic upside, man, gotta love it. Dallas Cowboys, this one was a bit tough. A lot of y'all would probably think I'd go corner, and I don't blame you, but I'm gonna go with Micah Parsons. I think he fits Dan Quinn's scheme very well. I think Micah Parsons could do an Aldon Smith, Vic Beasley-esque role, so I think it's a good pick here. The New York Giants, give Danny Dime weapons. Joe just says he's going to do that very thing, so we did. We went with Kyle Pitts. They could have Evan Ingram and Pitts on the field at the same time. Pitts can play in the slot. He can play on the outside. He is a playmaker. He is a top 10 to 15 guy in this draft. So the 49ers, I don't care if they stick with Jimmy G or not. It is what it is. All their corners, they're all free agents, almost all of them. We're going corner. Patrick Surtain just so happened to fall to us, so we're going to go ahead and take that. As for the Chargers, they could use some actual players on the offensive line. You need to protect your investment. You need to protect Justin Herbert, and we're going to do that with a guy who's projected to have a little bit of versatility. They say he could play guard. They say he could play center. That's yet to be seen. We haven't seen it in college, but I know he could play tackle, and I think he could do it at a high level. So we're going to go with Rashawn Slater. And then the Minnesota Vikings could have gone a variety of different ways, but instead, I ultimately went with Kwity Paye. I like his upside. I think they could definitely use a solid edge rusher right next to Danielle Hunter. I think DJ Wonnum, he's more of a rotation player. I think Paye is a top 10 to 15 guy in this draft. I love his tools. Just check out the 3-cone on Twitter. Just do that. And then we could go Mac Jones here. It'd be a perfect fit, but you know what? I didn't want to grab him here. Unless they trade down, which the Patriots, let's be honest, are probably going to trade down. I said, let's get these guys more weapons, and I actually went with Kadarius Toney. This guy, he just moves differently. I know he kind of dropped balls at the Senior Bowl, but hey, he only has 3 drops over 150 targets throughout his career. I'm not worried that's going to be an issue. Like I said, this guy, he eats contact, dude. He has just such great balance. They need a playmaker, a wide receiver, so we grabbed one. And then the Arizona Cardinals, I know a lot of people are mocking J.C. Horn here, but I don't believe they're going to re-sign Hassan Reddick. Chandler Jones, he's 30 years old. I know that ain't old, but still, let's grab another edge rusher. And I'm really high on Azeez Ojulari. I just think he has that it factor to be a special pass rusher in this league. Again, this is me making the picks here. This isn't predictive. I'm really high on this guy, so I'm going to take him for the Cards. Now, Vegas Raiders, I was kind of hoping he'd be available here, but instead, I'm going to get some interior pressure. And Christian Barmore, man, he had the highest pass rush win rate over the last couple of seasons on the interior, or for any of the interior, any of the interior players. The guy was phenomenal in the playoffs. He destroyed probably one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in college football, being Notre Dame. He did good. I think this would be a solid because Bradley, he really relies only on the 4-man fronts. He doesn't really bring extra blitzers. He's one of the he just doesn't blitz at a lot. I think he blitzes about 16 to 18% of the time, which was among the lowest in the league. It might have been the lowest in the league. The Miami Dolphins. If you don't know, this is my team. This is our second pick. You know what? Let's swing for the fences. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go with Gregory Rousseau and hope this guy can develop into something special. He's got a very, very freakish-like frame. He can win on the interior. I hope that he can develop pass rush moves and win on the outside. So I think we got a sure thing in Jamar Chase, so we're going to go with a bit of a risk and reach it on upside here. The Washington football team, I ultimately decided to go offensive tackle because Darius Saw could be a top 15 tackle in this draft. He's got a good physical upside along with some athletic upside. He played very consistently in 2018 and 2019, and it took it to another level in 2020. He just looked phenomenal. And then the Chicago Bears, I really wanted to go quarterback. I just want to get I want to be done with Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if Mac Jones is that. Instead, I'm going to go with probably a safer option here. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman because I know we're going to lose Allen Robinson. He don't want to be back. Probably not going to come back. Sorry, Chicago fans. And then we're going to go to the Indianapolis Colts, and you could say this could be a landing spot for Mac Jones. I don't know how high they are on Jacob Eason, but you know what? Let's give the guy a shot. Let's give Eason a chance. So instead, I don't think they're going to be able to bring back Xavier Rhodes in free agency. J.C. Horn, good value here. I think he fits this defense very well. And then the Tennessee Titans, I really like how Carlos Basham fits this squad. I think Mike Vrabel will love how Carlos Basham fits this team. And then the New York Jets, we're back here at pick 2. And I don't know if they're going to re-sign Bradley Poole, who was kind of their big slot guy. And JOK, that was kind of his role in college. I think you got this nice little like safety slash linebacker hybrid. I'm really high on him. I think he could go somewhere in the 10 to 20 area. So getting him here at 23, I thought was really good value. I just couldn't pass up on. Didn't really like any of the receivers at this spot either. So we went ahead with him. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Mac Jones. No, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it. Instead, we're going to get some protection because we got a few of their tackles. They got their free agents. So we're going to go with Tevin Jenkins, man. He just looks like a Steeler. The way he plays is just very Steeler-esque. He plays with a Steeler mentality, man. This guy's just a savage, especially in the run game. He gets to that second level and he tries to knock someone's blocks off. So I like Jenkins. He's one of my higher prospects in here. He has mainly played on the right side, but he does have experience on the left as well. And then the Jaguars. Let's get him some help in the secondary. Trevon Merriweather is right now the top safety in this class, in my opinion. So let's just grab help for the secondary. Why not? Why not? And then the Cleveland Browns. I decide to take a shot on a guy who, Jalen Phillips, man, I'm not too sure like how he will be medically. Like his concussions are real medical red flags. Like it led him to retiring back at UCLA. But this guy does have top 10 upside. It's really those medical red flags and then a large bit of his dominance only coming in the second half of this season are a bit of the concerns, but you see the potential, you see the flashes. So let's go for that there. The Baltimore Ravens, this one was a bit tough. I ended up just going with the value here and added some depth on the offensive line. Since this team wants to run the ball, Elijah Vera Tucker, very good value here. And then the New Orleans Saints, Mac Jones. I'm going to go. I've been liking this guy mocked here. Xavier Collins, he is a better version of Zach Bond, who they drafted last year. So we're going to go with him right here. The Green Bay Packers, this is another one I've been mocking recently that I really like. I like Tyson Campbell, how he fits in Green Bay. Kevin Keane is not going to probably be on the team next year, so need to grab some help at corner. Buffalo Bills, another thing, this is another place where the Bills, they could go a variety of different ways, but I think it was very apparent how weak they are over the middle. Like Tremaine Edmonds, he's not good in space. And then on top of that, Matt Milano, he's a free agent. So I went with Nick Bolton. I really, really like this pick, and I really like this fit. He stacks up well against the run, and he's one of the more savvy coverage linebackers in this class. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I said, let's go edge, man. I think this team, I don't think I don't think they're going to be able to retain Shaq Barrett, I should probably say. And Jason Oweh, man, he has some real movement skills at 257. I know the sack numbers weren't there, but best believe he did create a lot of pressure. He did disrupt the quarterback last season. And then the Kansas City Chiefs really could go a variety of different ways. I ended up going with Dylan Radins out of North Dakota State. He just shined at the Senior Bowl. He was easily the best tackle there, probably the best offensive lineman there. He looked very good. Eric Fisher, Mitchell Schwartz. Eventually, you're going to move on from those guys, probably Eric Fisher, let's be honest. And, hey, man, Radins, man, he's solid, dude. He's one of the more technically sound tackles in this class. Now, I felt very confident about that first round. I was like, man, that's a good looking first round mock. So you're going to have to hang with me on this second round, all right? So with the Jacksonville Jaguars, we grabbed safety, we grabbed quarterback. They need an upgrade from AJ Can. I think Ben Barch eventually is going to be playing tackle. I don't think he's a guard. So I went with a guard. I went with Wyatt Davis right here. And I mean, it helps like that Urban Meyer actually recruited Davis. So I kind of thought about the connection there. Then months ago, I was drafting the heck out of Travis Etienne to the Niners. I know they didn't need running back, but I would love to see Etienne in a Kyle Shanahan system. Mike LaFleur's, they need a running back. We're going to go Travis Etienne. I think I'm going to love watching him in his system. So we're going to go with him right here. The Miami Dolphins, they could use an upgrade at linebacker. Jerome Baker, I know a lot of people will be like, look at his tackle numbers and his sack numbers. He's trash in coverage, though. I like Jabril Cox. He's one of, I think, more underrated, not talked about linebacker prospects in general in this class. He was the most pass-tested linebacker this past season. He is not the athlete that Patrick Queen was in that LSU defense, but I definitely think he's a lot more well-rounded. They didn't really use his pass rushing upside that he showcased in North Dakota State. I think he does have that. Honestly, I'm a big mark for him. I really like him. And then the Atlanta Falcons, they need help in the secondary. We got to this pick. I was like, this has to be defense. I really like Asante Samuel Jr. The guy can play. He could play man. He could play zone. He is a bit short, but he is probably one of the most elite athletes in this draft class in terms of corner. So I really like him with this pick. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, there was a lot of ways I thought I could go here. That's why I'm kind of mumbling over my words. I really wanted to go Osa Odigizua. I was like, man, this guy, he's got huge upside. I'm really a really big fan of him. I wasn't too sure of the edge talent at this point. Some people were high on Joseph Asai. I felt like this was too early for him. So we ended up going back to receiver, and I was like, Terrace Marshall Jr., he's big, he's fast, and he has history with Joe Burrow. Why not? I think A.J. Green's gone in the offseason, so why not? The Philadelphia Eagles, they need corner. Eric Stokes is actually a pretty solid scheme fit for this squad, so we're going to go with him here. The Detroit Lions, this one was tough, and I was like, who's the best defensive player on the board that can maybe make an immediate impact? And this one may be a bit strange. I went with Elijah Molden. I'm actually pretty high on this guy. I think he probably a popular comp is the Honey Badger himself to Molden. I think he can play deep. He's got very good movement skills, like lateral or vertical. He hangs with guys down the field. He can play in the slot. He can play deep safety. He's a very willing participant against the run game. So I like him a lot, man. It might not be a popular pick here, but I think he's a very safe player. And then the Carolina Panthers, Samuel Cosme's sitting around here. I don't think teams are going to be high enough on him in the first round just because he does get bodied by power. At least that's when he loses, it's typically because of that, but he is one of the most athletic tackles in this class. And the Panthers, they could kind of use some help there. I don't know if Russell Okung will be back, so let's grab him here. And then Denver Broncos, I don't know how much faith you have in Drew Lock. I don't have so much. Mac Jones is sitting here. I think he's a first-round pick. It's just with not doing trades, I didn't really have a team that could trade up for him, so we're going to go with Mac Jones right here. So we got a quarterback battle in Denver, and plus Mac Jones, he's kind of familiar with Jerry Jeudy. A lot more than Drew Lock is, I'll just say that. Dallas Cowboys, I think we need to address the secondary now. We could have went corner. I think that really there's a few guys here that I was like, maybe, but I really like Richie Grant. I think he would be very solid in this defense. So, yeah, man, this defense, Richie Grant, Micah Parsons, I like those two picks. I think they can make immediate impacts. Then the New York Giants, we're just going to get more weapons for Danny Dimes. A lot of people don't think this is a good fit. Rondale Moore is a fabulous playmaker. There's some real upside to him. He just moves differently, and he's extremely physical despite his size. Like I often compare him to a Steve Smith with a little more finesse. So we're going to go with him here. And then the San Francisco 49ers. Do you want to go Jamie Newman? Do you want to go Kyle Trask? I said, let's go neither. Let's grab some interior help. I think Creed Humphrey, this is a good place for him. So we're going to go with Creed Humphrey here. And then the Los Angeles Chargers. They're probably switching to a 3-4. At least safe to assume that. And looking at the edge, Joseph Asai, he's got some experience there. I prefer him as a hand-in-the-dirt type of pass rusher. I think that's what, like, when he was at his best there at Texas, being in 2020. But he does have experience being a stand-up pass rusher, just a hybrid linebacker. So we're going to go with him right here. And he was actually pretty solid in coverage in 2019. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's grab Trevor a weapon. And we're going to grab him a weapon and Pat Freiermuth, man. With Kyle Pitts just exploding on the year, not a lot of people are talking about Pat Freiermuth, but he is an excellent inline blocker. And this dude, he is like a battering ram. Once he gets the ball, good luck taking him down. He is just going to knock your socks off. I like him, and he was a big focal point of Penn State's offense this past season. And then the New England Patriots, do they go quarterback now? I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about Jamie Newman, Kyle Trask, but I'm kind of indifferent. I have day 2 grades on them, but I don't know really if I'm willing to take a second round pick on those guys. Instead, we're just going to grab someone who fits the defense. And I think Davion Nixon, I think he fits what Bill Belichick likes. I think Nixon, he is a bit of a developmental prospect at this point. He's a bit of a project. I know he was amazing this year, and he was pretty solid in a rotation role in 2019. But there are aspects of his game that do need work. I don't think he by no means is a polished prospect or a complete prospect. I think he's far from, but I think he's got a ton of upside, and I think Bill Belichick would be a great guy to get all that out of him. And then the Arizona Cardinals. I know some of y'all are like, where's Najee Harris going? If you're not familiar with the channel, I'm not high on... I don't think running back is a valuable position. I think you get a quality day 3 guy who will fit your system and do a great job at that. Instead, I think what this offense mainly needs is someone that could stretch the field vertically. You could see in the second half of this season how this off, like they couldn't press the ball down vertically. Like Andy Isabella, he's supposed to do that role. It just ain't working out. I think the marriage is going bad between the Cardinals and Isabella. So I'm going to go with Tylan Wallace. I'm really high on Tylan Wallace. I love he is a playmaker. This guy, he is an incredible downfield threat, and he's got some real ball skills. Go check out he's got some highlight catches on tape. And then we're going to the 49ers, Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to Sin City, baby. And I think, let's address the secondary. I really like Andre Cisco. He's kind of this high risk, high reward type of play style. And he was looking a lot more disciplined until the ACL tear ended his season early. But I think this guy has a great opportunity to be a very good deep safety in this league. Jonathan Abram ain't that. He's more of a thumper. So we're going to go with Cisco here to help that secondary out. Miami Dolphins, I know some of y'all are like, Najee Harris, they got nobody at running back. Quite frankly, they don't really need someone at running back. Let's just get somebody later on. There's some quality running backs in this class. Like, let's go take a quick look. It's Javonte Williams. I love this guy. I think he's right up there with Najee Harris. Michael Carter is amazing. Dimitri Felton's probably going to be a slot guy. Trey Sermon, even Kenneth Gainwell is a very good playmaker. Ramondre Stevens, and then Chuba Hubbard is a guy that probably will fall to day 3. Like, this is a very good class. So we don't have to grab a running back. Instead, let's press more valuable positions. Paul Alexander, the offensive line whisperer himself, is very high on Walker Little. We haven't really seen much Walker Little play in the last 2 years, so I'm going to take his word for it. We're going to go Walker Little. And then you might be like, Washington football team, they have to grab a quarterback. Not necessarily, man. They don't have to grab a quarterback just yet. They still have Alex Smith. I know that's not a very sexy option. Or they could give their boy Heineke a shot. Either way, I think they should add some playmakers. And I think Ross St. Brown is a solid option here, a guy that can play on the outside, can play on the slot. He's shown some vertical chops, and he's one of the craftiest route runners in this class. I think he'd pair up very well with Terry McLaurin. And then the Chicago Bears, this is where I went and took a shot at quarterback, and I know he didn't have a great Senior Bowl week, but Jamie Newman, he has a really good arm, especially downfield. I think if you could kind of groom this guy, because where he struggles is between the hashes, kind of get him to see defenses a bit better. Keep in mind, man, back in 2019, he played in that RPO system where he didn't really look to the middle of the field often, and they ran a very simplistic route concept. So Jamie Newman, he might not be a starter year one, but he's got the athletic upside. He has the arm. I think it's worth taking a shot on him in day two. I really do like Jamie Newman. Kyle Trask doesn't have that athletic upside. Then the Indianapolis Colts, you would think maybe Kyle Trask. Nah, dude, I have faith. Maybe Jacob Eason's the guy, or maybe they bring in someone else. That's yet to be seen. But instead, we're going to go offensive tackle since they did lose Anthony Costanzo. We're going to go Liam Eichenberg. Big fan. Very good technician. And then the Tennessee Titans. Corey Davis. He's a free agent. Do they sign him to a big deal? I mean, I hate guys that play well on a contract year, but do they sign him to a big deal? Well, we just replace him with Nico Collins, who is kind of the same guy. And then we got the Seattle Seahawks. Honestly, if he makes it to this pick, this is totally who they're taking. Landon Dickerson. He is the most Seahawk player I have ever seen. And then we got the Steelers. All right, screw it. They get Najee Harris. It almost seems inevitable, whether it's in the first round or he somehow falls to them in the second round. It just feels like Najee Harris might be destined to play in Pittsburgh. That might be the case, especially if they don't end up going quarterback. And they could have gone Kyle Trask here, but I don't know, man. Kyle Trask, he does have those Mason Rudolph vibes, so it's a bit scary. Just a bit scary. And then the Los Angeles Rams, this is their first pick. They just got their new shiny quarterback, Matthew Stafford. So let's maybe get him some protection because, what is it? Havenstein, potential free agent in the next few years. If not, I mean, Whitworth, you got to imagine he's going to retire fairly soon. So we're going to go with Jalen Mayfield, man. I'm not a big fan of his game. I think he's a developmental prospect, but he gets put in a situation where he doesn't have to start immediately. So I do see the athletic upside. I see the physical upside. I see why people like him. I just don't think the production's there on tape. All I'm saying. And then the Cleveland Browns, they'll go linebacker now. Chaz Surratt didn't have the best Senior Bowl week, but this guy, he can get to the passer. Former quarterback. He has that sideline to sideline athletic ability. He can be very good in coverage. And keep in mind, he's new to the position, man. So we're going to go Chaz Surratt. The Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with Rashad Weaver, man, because he feels like a Baltimore Raven, man. He just looks like a guy that the Ravens would love. He had a very good Senior Bowl week. Wins a lot with power. And I mean, they're probably, I assume they're going to keep either Judon or Yannick Ngakoue, and I assume they're going to go Ngakoue. So they grab their power rusher here in Weaver. And then the New Orleans Saints. Marcus Williams might not be back with the team, so I went ahead, took a look at the safety position. Von Holland, a guy that can play in the slot, especially if Chauncey Gardner-Johnson moves to safety. So he could start in the slot immediately, or I think he could play deep safety. So I like Holland here at this pick. And then the Green Bay Packers, I don't know how Elijah Moore made it here. The draft's wild, dude. Good players fall in the draft. It's just what happens, especially in a class like this where I think there's a lot of good talent. Elijah Moore, man, let's bring back the days of old with Randall Cobb. Elijah Moore is just very good, especially after the catch. Then the Buffalo Football Bills. Let's grab corner now, man. If we're going to stop the Patriots, if we're going to compete with the Patriots, let's add some depth to that corner position because Levi Wallace is a free agent. Josh Norman, probably not long for the NFL. So we're going to go with Ray Newsome, the second, who actually comes from a very zone-heavy system there in Northwestern. And I think he'd be a solid pick here. And then the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There we go. We're going to go Alex Leatherwood, man. I know he didn't have a great Senior Bowl week, general, but you like his length. He can play. He's probably going to be better at guard, but why not give him a shot? You're looking for immediate starters. I think he could be a potential improvement over Smith. I love his length. So we're going to take a shot here with him. And then finally, Kansas City Chiefs. I say screw it. Let's just grab more weapons. You don't know if Sammy Watkins is going to be back, but even if he is, Dwayne Eskridge, I think, just seems scary in this system. So I'm like, screw it. This feels like something Kansas City would do and grab more weapons. So we're going to grab Dwayne Eskridge. And that is it. That is the mock draft. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.